that was the fifth kind of time that I've been able to be engaged in that one. And after my first time doing it, I told Carrie, our head lady for all of that I wanted to be a part of that one every year. It's great to just see those kids' smiles when you come into the room with a costume on, or even through the Zoom session, from acting like Elmo to the Cookie Monster. It was a really good pleasure to be a part of that and just put a smile on the kids' faces for a couple minutes.
Brandon, I just want to ask you, what have you been doing since the season ended? I know, it was quite an experience to be there in the bubble, but what's it been like to kind of just get back into being around your family and friends and just kind of hopefully relaxing a bit?
It's been good. I think it's been a great reset for me. I love coming back to Colorado, obviously, to be around my family. Family is very important to me. They help me reset and just get away from hockey, get away from the game for a little while. I've been training and I got back into that about a month ago. But before that, it was just about enjoying the weather, getting outside, doing, the fun Colorado activities that I get to do. I'm actually headed back to Boston now to restart dialing everything back in. But it was great. It was definitely a mental break that I needed.
How weird is it just this time of year? We're in October now, and you haven't, had any hockey games. There's been no training camp to this point. Just your whole sort of hockey calendar and body calendar being thrown off by not going through the normal routine right now to this point.
It is tough. I mean, as far as managing your physical stuff, you don't really know what timeline we're going to be on. So that's been tough. You don't want to overdo it and train too much and be tired by the time the season rolls around, whenever that may be. So it is definitely interesting and a lot different. But I think we're adjusting well. And, it's just how everybody in the world has to do it right now. That kind of puts it in perspective for me is, it's not only within hockey, it's within every other sport and every other job in the world. So everybody's adjusting and just finding our way through it.
Brandon, obviously, there's already been some big change, specifically on the defense there with your defensive partner for a while now, Torey Krug departing. Zdeno Chara is not signed yet. We're not sure if he's coming back right now. What has this been like watching this from afar? And then, how have you started to look at the defense now with Torey gone? And even furthermore, have you even thought about the fact that Z might be gone?
Yeah, you definitely obviously take into account everything with your team. For us, it's part of our job to recognize what's going on. There is a business side of things, and unfortunately, you lose great players at times. But you take those experiences and everything that you gain with those players. From the two guys that you're talking about right now, I'm obviously hoping that Zdeno can return, but Torey as well. I've learned so much from those guys in my first 4 years. But also at the same time, you look at it from a standpoint for yourself and how you can help the team. I hope to evolve in my role to continue to grow as a player and, step up in the aspects that I'll be needed. So I'm excited about that. There's a lot of feelings that go into it. You lose your best friends, but you want to grow and be the best player that you can for this team. So you look at the opportunities that are available, and I think all of us are looking forward to the season and think we still have a great contending team.
What have you specifically taken from both of those guys over your career, Torey and Z?
Oh, man, I can't even explain how much. Not even more so on the ice, but off the ice. Just the leadership that I've seen from both of them and that they've displayed, stepping up in areas and really carrying on that foundation that they laid in Boston has been huge for me to see. When you go into the rink every day, you have a responsibility to do, and I've learned something with that through them through my first 4 years that I hope that this younger generations of players can really take that into account and carry it on, because they've done a fantastic job.
And obviously, as you mentioned there, both of them great leaders there. You're going to probably be looked upon as well now to kind of become a leader like that. As you've kind of evolved both on and off the ice with the Boston Bruins, where do you feel you're at right now in that leadership category?
I feel like I'm, like you said, growing in that role. I wouldn't classify myself as the top of the leaderboard with all those guys, but I'm definitely a glue guy in the aspect of, now that I have a couple years experience under my belt, I can help younger guys along the way and try and give them any advice that I can from the experiences and the learning times that I've had with Torey and Z and Bergie and Marshy, all these guys. So I would classify myself more in that middle group now where, there is opportunities for me to step up and help out guys when I see that there's the opportunity to.
Do you think you, Charlie, Grizz, obviously you guys are going to take on more sort of veteran roles now just based on the makeup of the group, and some young guys are going to be coming along. How much do you think as a unit you're ready, all of you got the younger guys, for that responsibility to sort of move up leadership on and off the ice and carry that responsibility that's going to come with that?
I think we're prepared. I think Butchie's done a great job kind of easing us along in that path. And I think there's a transition period where obviously you have a couple games or whatnot to adjust to that role. And I think we're all smart enough and have enough confidence at this point to, step up in all those aspects. I was really happy that Grizz was able to sign back. Charlie's obviously an amazing player, and I think they're looking towards us to, step up, and I think we all really would like to.
Hey, Brandon, you mentioned you're looking forward to next season. Obviously, none of us know right now when next season will be. The AHL said yesterday their season's going to start February 5th, tentatively. You're part of the NHLPA there, and you're the player rep for the Bruins. What's the conversation been like amongst reps? I know you guys keep in touch sometimes during Zoom calls. What's the vibe right now in terms of when the season might start and if we're going to get hockey?
Yeah, I think, our biggest goal is to play 82 games. We have a deal in place that we went through right before we went to the bubble, and we want to stick to that deal. So we're excited about the opportunity. I think January 1 is what we would all obviously hope for, because that's kind of the tentative date that they've set out there. But like I said, with the whole COVID situation and everybody in the world will have to adjust if we have to adjust. So the goal right now, I would say, is 82 games, and all the players and everybody's on board for wanting that.
You just talking to your teammates, talking to other players around the league, conversations you've had PHWA wise, NHLPA wise. Would there be issues, do you think, if there was another bubble scenario thrown at you guys? I know, there was pros and cons with it, and maybe some things that you thought you were going to get, whether it was, excursions while you were there or the families coming, towards the end. Would there be a hesitancy to go through another bubble scenario, do you think, if that was presented to you?
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong to say that there would probably be a little bit of a hesitancy, but overall, I think, we're open to a lot of ideas. The best way that we can make it work is the best way that we can make it work. And we all want to play hockey. We all want to be there. Family is the biggest part to all of that. These guys, especially in Boston that I've seen, need to be around their families in order to function. So it's the biggest part of their entire life, because family's first, then hockey. So as long as we can kind of clear up an aspect with that, I would hope that, everybody would be excited to play. Just
on that note, Brandon, family first and then hockey. As a teammate and as a friend, were you a bit upset to see the criticism that Tuukka took for leaving the bubble, considering the circumstances he was facing?
Yeah, I mean, from the outsider's perspective, it's hard because you don't have all the information. You don't understand that, his daughter was going through something at that point. And within our group and within the organization being in the bubble, I can tell you that the support for him was more than 100%. We were all very happy for him to be able to do what he needed to do, and we understand that that's the most important thing. So it is hard, and it's just like anything else. When you're in a position like his, you're going to receive criticism in a lot of different aspects. But for that one, with a family-related issue, you obviously stand on the side of that guy and want to protect him.
Last question from us, Brando. Just next season, your own individual play, you've established yourself as a top four defenseman, a shutdown guy. What do you work on? What do you want to improve? What are your sort of aims and goals when the games start getting played again?
For me, I feel confident in my game, but overall, that's the thing that I want to work on is my confidence going into each game, recognizing that, I might be put into this different role. And I think with confidence, I recognize in the summer, maybe sometimes I'm doing these skill drills and I'm not less skilled than a lot of these guys who are scoring goals and whatnot. So maybe I can start to take more opportunities, get up in the play, and have the confidence to, make a mistake or two. I feel like I've been saying that maybe for a little while now, but in this role and the situation that I am going into my 5th year, I'm excited to maybe take a couple more chances, not sprint out of the zone if I get below the goal line, and get around the net a little bit, maybe pound a couple pucks home.
Any surprise whatsoever that Patrice Bergeron had a letter perfect Elmo during that visit with the hospital kids?
Nope, I haven't ever seen anything Bergie do that wasn't perfect, so that wasn't surprising.
That's right.
At all.
Like I told you, he's got a voiceover career coming. So
exactly, I look forward to listening.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, Brando.
With the kids and visiting with us today, Brando. Appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you guys. Look forward to seeing you hopefully soon.